An installment of the Ocasio-Cortez YouTube sewage series. In this one, we're on the Fox News video, Conservative Women Challenge. You go scroll up here. Ocasio-Cortez to a debate. And I'll be reading some of the comments, giving my reaction to them. I've only seen about the first two or three, but this is being done again to highlight the reasons for why most people, whether they're a high profile figure or someone who's much lower on the totem pole, such as myself, don't feel inclined to answer a lot of the comments that are directed toward them. So, without further ado, let's begin. The first one says, "It's not free socialist agenda, you dumb expletive. Fox, fake, obnoxious, xenophobe. People pay high taxes in democratic socialist countries like Austria, Sweden, Norway, etc. And that tax gives them all the benefits. But your moron expletive is filled with brain tumors to understand those policies. The basic needs, aka education, health, and a roof on top of your head, should not be a human right, should be a human right, not a privilege." Very good comment as the first one to start this off. So it's excellent. This other person says, let me say hello to the reluctant dragon. Other person says, "Cortez is the little Tay of the media. Shapiro is PewDiePie." I'm not really sure of what that comparison means, but okay. This person says that Ocasio says everyone's scared of debating her, of her on debating, but who is scared now? To my recollection, I don't recall her ever saying everybody's afraid to debate me. Everybody is scared. Let me say hello to Envoy. We're doing the second installment of this series. I often challenge conservative politicians to a debate. They ignore me. Why would this be? This person says only retards think socialism is good. Cortez is too stupid to debate with a conservative. She obviously knows that. That person put two comments. Why she couldn't have just written one is beyond me. Like they're both one sentence, and she just has to keep that posting over and over. Whatever. Democrats are demons. Um, I mean, they do some shady things, but the Republicans do as well. So the left knows their arguments would fall apart in a real debate with someone who doesn't run out of time as soon as the real questions are asked. That's a very generalized saying. This person says she won't debate anyone because she doesn't know a single thing about politics and economics, which is not true. Um, Leftists are weeding sycophants that are intellectually shallow and ideologically possessed, fearful of facts and logic. You know, it's just a bunch of blanket statements. Who's fearful of facts and logic? Anytime I tell these conservatives, the politician that you've currently put in the White House is doing the same thing that the quote unquote liberal president before him did, of having 7 wars and massive wealth inequality, they hush because they know it's the same thing. So whatever, they're falling on their own sword. This person says oh, maybe say hello to Ruben. Um, Debating Cortez would be like debating with a bird. Driver says, ask all of these Democrats to give half of their stuff to their neighbors, see how they respond. That's what Democrats are offering today. You go to work, bring home half of your paycheck, give it to your neighbor. They want it all to belong to the community, not to you. Um, I don't really understand what I don't know any Democrat that's gone up and said, yes, we're in favor of you giving over 50% of everything you own. This isn't a divorce proceeding. Hey, Envoy, you would know about that. They don't have the envoy policy. If she ran in Canada, she'd be prime minister. Her handlers will not let her anywhere near a debate. She's a complete moron and completely corrupt. I love watching OLE Bug Eyes on TV. Again, more nonsense about appearance. Just call her Sandy Cortez. Nice straw man arguments, everyone. She doesn't owe you a debate. Who are the other candidates that they have actually debated? Ben Shapiro wanted to donate 10 grand to her campaign. That's illegal, but sounds like you had no clue. That is true. It was illegal, and they don't even say anything about that. Man, you guys are thirsty on wanting to debate Alexandria. Cortez has a participation trophy degree. That's why the only job she could get was bartending. Now she's a politician. Ignorance can be cured, but stupid is forever. She's an idiot, somebody else writes. Is she going to call it a cat call again? The left does not like to debate their ideas against opposing ideas. They don't want to look stupid, but can't seem to stop appearing stupid. So let's summarize. We've had generalizations, somebody mock her appearance, version Ben. No, he's married. Um, and he has two. You guys are the same thing to VVS. How can you be a virgin but then have a child? Anyways, there was a comment about her appearance thrown in there. So we're not really seeing anything about policy specifics. You didn't see anything about Medicare for all, um, free college, getting out of the wars. None of it. It's just socialism, 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 socialism. But Envoy, those are his. And if you don't believe me, we can take him to Maury right now. Let me send Shapiro an email. I'm gonna say, hello, Ben. I would like, to take you to Maury. I was just randomly typing buttons on this thing, so it pushed down. Join the conservatives. We have all the normal, beautiful women. She can't debate. She would just sit there with those crazy eyes and be speechless. I really should keep like a little counter of all the time somebody says something about her appearance. Candace Owens would body slam her mentally. What? Guys, this is the same. You know what? I don't usually like to leave the commentary of like put other people's stuff in here because this is kind of distracting from these comments. But I want to play a clip of Candace Owens talking about climate change, and I want to hear you guys tell me, "Oh, what a smart woman! She's so intelligent." Because like even with Shapiro, like Envoy was saying, I disagree with him, but I've never doubted that man had brains. When it comes to her, not so much. So I can find something on here. I'm gonna play the one from Kyle. That's the person who will own this Cortez in the debate. Again, when you hear what she said, you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, let me get it to go to the clip. Does it start right here? This is insane. All right, here it is. Put the volume back on here. I want you to hear it. I want it to be echoing and blasting.
Fell victim to the idea that like it was progress, it was progress, it was progress. We have to care about the environment. It was progress, and it's like no, like we've been losing. America has been losing, and Donald Trump understood that in a way that I didn't. And
you
I
don't
thought,
think we have to care about the environment? Like,
no, no, not even a little bit. Like,
not even a little bit?
no. Okay, let me clarify this. I don't throw trash on the ground. Like
Okay.
I'm not saying like we need to like trash the environment. Like but do I believe in climate change? No.
You don't believe in climate change?
Well, I think the climate always changes. I guess is what I should say. Do I believe that this is like an issue that is being that is global warming, which they've changed conveniently. They got rid of the word once scientists started disproving it. Now they only say climate change. No, I think that was just a way to extract dollars from Americans. I don't at all believe they had no actionable plan. It was great for Trump to get out of that deal. It's terrible.
Okay, but this is an incredibly complicated subject.
Right.
And if you would have to talk to a bunch of different scientists and see how they gather data and see what they understand about CO2 levels and what's the danger of them and what can combat it and what could not. Have you done all this, or
No,
do you
so I
take
think
this flippant opinion
It's
based
listen,
on
I'm
the party
not. This is
line.
not. This wouldn't be the hill I died on, right? But it's not about the part. I just genuinely, I've read a ton about it, but
What
I
have
would
you
not
read?
I've
be
read a
able
ton
to. I would
about it.
not be able to come to you and say like, this is my strong opinion. But here's like the easiest way to say this,
Here's like the
right?
easiest
The
way.
fact that there is a disparity in the science community about whether or not it's real is enough to.
It's very little.
Yep.
Very little disparity.
But-
There's a scientific consensus.
The vast majority agree that human beings are negatively affecting climate change.
Yeah.
You heard what he just said. The vast majority. There's a consensus. It's just said. Well, there's debate. No, there's not. So please, the second I read that name and I looked at that comment. Okay, let's continue. Man, I mean, what? All right, so this person says Ocasio-Cortez couldn't win the debate against a retarded 6-year-old, total idiot. Moderate Democrats will leave the Democratic Party and join the GOP. I'd pay to see Cortez get derailed. She has no clue, and the retarded libs love her. Nothing like a rich girl pretend to be poor. Y'all getting played and making her money. World on floor laughing. Fox News tries to get nobodies to debate the future president. Click that one. I want these people. There's another one. People that don't want to do anything are socialists. Lazy people want this, and I won't work to support them. But if they're lazy for being socialist, or that's like that comment is it fights itself because it means that you think the people are lazy because they're socialist, but you just said you're going to be lazy because they're socialist. I will not work to support them. So you're just going to stay at home and be like them because that supposedly is all socialist? Again, according to them. And then Envoy said his boy Joe Rogan. Look, she now sees that her rhetoric is all she has, and people will outsmart her left and right. She is a non-event now. She won't make it without a debate with someone. She appears to be the coward. Crazy Eye Cortez. Cortez's highest intelligence is talking smack. I lived in socialist Czechoslovakia before 1989, and it was better in capitalism. And I think you Americans know nothing about socialism. I guess that comment's directed opposed to her, whatever. She does not have to know what she is talking about. She just has to talk to people that agree with her. She is not up to par with an experienced Republican woman. She would not be able to debate with them and win. I told you guys that every time you do a debate with any of these opposing ideology characters, all they do is take clips of you kind of stuttering on your words or thinking about what you're going to say and go, oh, he lost, he got roasted, he got beaten. Oh my God. Why would she debate anyone but her opponent? Has no brain. They call it brain dead Democrats. You pick good ones. Seriously, I cannot believe this moron has a following. This cannot be the best candidate representing the socialist agenda. Ask the Chinese if they like socialism. 700 million people have been lifted out of poverty, and now China is the #1 economy in the world. And that one got 2 responses. Let's read them. Oh, you mean communist China? I guess they also love the fact that they lose their freedom of speech and other constitutional guaranteed rights. Where do you people come from? Do you even know your own constitution? Or are you trying to sound intelligent? Oh my God. So let me get this straight. If she wins that House seat, we're gonna like the whole Constitution will just get repealed. Okay. She clearly doesn't understand the word catcall. Cortez the coward is a moron. Sign the Democrat. Yes, call her out. Stop catcalling ladies. Stop giving her attention. Someone said this video gave them a boner. I believe it. I told you there's a sexual thing going on with these people where they're just sitting there and like upset with her, but at the same time, uh, beating off to her. It's so weird. Like the guy that was talking about the STDs that she could get for free, and then the other one talking about crazy hoe or whatever. Just all this nonsense. Uh, she needs to blink. So more nonsense. Wow, these women are really catcalling poor little Alexandria liberals are such pathetic trash. Just hide in your safe spaces and ignore reality. Democrats are done. Obama has not even endorsed Ocasio-Cortez. I don't know why he would. He's part of the establishment. Uh, yes, because poor do nothing but be poor. It's not like they work their behinds off 40 hours a week and still don't make enough to survive. Yeah, I mentioned this yesterday, or what's the day before, that 43% of the homeless have jobs. And I think we've been over this before, that you have a capitalist system where the people at the top pay out the politicians to deregulate these businesses so they can pay workers um, terrible wages and have them working these crappy jobs because they're left with no alternative. Wicked Gesture says, claims socialists are lazy won't work because they are socialists. They say hello to Dream Villain. Okay, typical liberal promises more free things to idiots for vote. Not only is she an idiot, but so are the idiots that vote for her. So voter shaming is really nice. That's always a good thing. Um, let's continue. You can literally see the crazy in AOC's eyes. Or is that? Yeah, it's AOC. Okay, I thought they were going to put some other letter in there. Just as you can literally see the stupid come from her mouth or sorry, like mouth. I don't want Fox to do the debate because I don't dare to be a time limit, not fleshing out ideas to fit a network's timesheet making. Uh, she don't want to debate. Why is Candace Owens on here? She just as dumb as You know, I don't agree with that, but at least somebody is not trying to hold her up to some standard of intelligence. Like I've read that woman's comments. All she does is say the Democrats started racism or were the party of the KKK, and then like blindly give a thumbs up to everything Trump does. When his cheerleader. And look, I'm not. Let me clarify. I'm not saying you can't like a candidate that there are other people don't. What I am saying is that she's the kind of person who, if you told her, "Oh man, Obama gave tax cuts to the rich and screwed over the middle class," she would say that's horrible. And then you'll say, "But you know, Trump did that too, right?" And she'll go, "Oh, no, he didn't," or she'll try to find some way of rewording her previous stance. It's that kind of partisan hackery where the person is okay when one side does, when the other one does, it's a problem. Um, She doesn't know much about anything. The perfect poster child for the DNC. I used to live in a communist/socialist country. I and many others like me hated their guts. Honestly, I'm starting to feel bad for Ocasio. If the media were this sharp every time I goofed, I would be afraid to go on the internet. Exactly, man. They take every moment during her debates or just her public appearances. They get a little clip of it. They play it on TV. They go, "Oh, look how stupid you are." There's a whole bunch of moments during my streams you could cut out and go, "Oh, he stuttered. Ah, he doesn't know he's talking about." So more nonsense. Who let? I'm not gonna read. That's sexist. Ocasio communist. The left has Crazy Eyes Cortez. The right has Candace Owens. And it's a bunch of laughing faces. So that's what, three people now that have called her Crazy Eyes. I don't know what that's supposed to do. Like, I don't vote for any of these candidates because they look attractive to me, or like it's just this dumb nickname they've given her. Uh, Candace will rip her apart and eat her for breakfast. Do I have to play that clip again? Do I need to refresh everyone's memory what she said about climate change? I hope I don't have to. What a group of smart, attractive women, hubba hubba. Let's tell the truth, the majority of Democrats know the difference between socialism and capitalism. Well, neither do the people who just keep using that term over and over again. Told you, man, the best way any of these debates can have a genuine opening and just body and conclusion is if people move themselves away from terms such as capitalism and socialism and just talk about policies issue by issue. And they don't want to do that because they know that these positions are very popular and that they'll probably lose a debate when they talk about them. Matter of fact, I actually had a discussion earlier on Twitter with a user who responded to my comments about the military budget, and she got to a point where she just stopped responding. I said, "Yeah, because if I read it, you would know what I'm talking about." And I might, if anyone wants to hear it, if somebody like leaves a comment saying, "Oh, I want to hear you read that," but I'll just keep doing this if no one says anything. She looks legit. She Can people spell? She looks Liget. I guess he means to say legit insane when you look into her eyes. That dumb expletive socialists couldn't debate with a chimp. They jumped too fast to socialism. They had to censor all other ideas and people speaking against it first. Now they can't even hold a debate. Of course, Dems love her. She's young and good looking, has an ethnic sounding name, and wants to give away free stuff. If she were a man, she'd be Barack Obama all over again. Again, we've been over this before, the things that Trump and Obama have in common that you never see any of Trump's supporters go after him for. It's the weirdest thing in the world, just being a cheerleader of this one person. Jesus. Only free stuff Obama gave out was assistance to the rich. Was he giving out free stuff when he tried to cut Social Security? Was he giving out free stuff when he had us in 7 wars? Was he giving out free stuff when he bailed out the banks? Wicked Gesture says, claims Cortez doesn't know what she's talking about, doesn't bother to make arguments to counter her points. They never do. It literally is always this. Someone says something very general and very vague about a particular candidate, and then we're just supposed to sit there and believe them because it's a comment section. We say hello to C-Lab as well, or say hi back. But yeah, this is why the internet is at its deficiency, because everybody has a voice. Ocasio-Cortez is a moron. It's amazing that she managed to win an election. It's a primary, whatever. She doesn't want to debate any politically savvy women because she's ignorant of historical politics. Now, see that abbreviation on there was retarded. What historical politics? Are we just going to talk and go, oh man, 70 years ago when FDR was... No, we're talking about issues that are currently afflicting people that a lot of them don't even know about. I bet you that 99% of the people that left comments in there don't know about that military budget. I bet that. Because the cable networks didn't talk about it and very few people covered it. When you type in a particular news story and my video, for as unpopular as I am, is one of the first to come up, that's a fail for the media. She's so off balance, it's so scary. Democrats have sunk to a new low. For $10,000, I'd let Shapiro make me look like an idiot, even though it's illegal. She's a weak coward. I'd rather see these ladies crush her than Shapiro. I love strong women. You're the best. She doesn't want to debate. Okay, that's the same dumb comment. Uncle Joseph Stalin, Grandpa Mao would be proud of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez socialist agenda. All right, whatever. There's more dingbats. 57% like socialism and 47% like capitalism. People don't understand there are no free lunches. There are free lunches. There's, like, we keep talking about all this free stuff that the Democrats are promising. The Republicans promise free things to the rich, just like Obama. It's a shared thing with both parties, but you get the idea. Does anybody not remember when the banks crashed and the those at the bottom had to pay for it? Everybody at the top that was responsible got bonuses and checks. If she can't handle a small debate between other people, how can she? Oh, this is funny. Okay, so the last two words are capitalized, so I'm going to read it that way for dramatic effect. If she can't handle a small debate between other people, how can she handle a debate on the national stage? Why do they do that? They all type where they write a sentence kind of normal, and after a little bit, it's weird looking. Um, she would lose the debate to an autistic Walmart greeter. Rosie O'Dawson can play her in a fake debate. She's never accused him of catcalling. She used catcalling as an analogy for men feeling entitled to a welcome response from her. Look, I said before, I thought her response to that wasn't that good, but they make a whole just laundry list of reasons to keep complaining about it. There's no more full of expletive than a Democrat. Let's see. Now, where's Envoy? Where'd he go? Where's Ruben? Ruben, are you there? Wicked Jester says, have no problem with the rich getting corporate welfare. Throws a fit when a struggling mom gets food stamps and Section 8 housing. Yeah. Um, like I said, it's a corporate gangbang and you ain't in it. Are you enjoying yourself, Envoy? Did you like the comments? Did you laugh? Did you giggle? No, people don't write anything. I start thinking, who are these numbers that are just sitting up in this chat room? Well, do I want to read any more of this? I think I've pretty much exhausted my resources. When that little bar on the side gets really tiny, that's when I know I'm in too deep. She can't accuse them of catcalling this time around. She'll hide like Hillary until the big day. Uh, I'm 23 and challenge her to a debate for 10,000. Old crazy eyes getting cold feet. She's in the wrong line of work. Go back to bartending school. Drunks don't care what you say either. No debating. Yeah, Ruben, these comments aren't as bad as the ones from last time around. We literally had two people call for her assassination, and another two threatened her with physical violence. Which actually, those are more recent than these ones because that was on that video where she was talking to those small children, and then Fox felt the need to cover it. For whatever reason, it's almost like she's turned it like it's like there's five politicians that get more coverage than everybody else, and she's one of them. It's her, Trump, Schumer, and Pelosi, and then maybe McConnell. Like those five just always get talked about and discussed. Everybody else just pushed to the back burner. It's really weird too. Actually, no, I take that back. Instead of Pelosi, it's Bernie. So those five. And every time you go on Fox or you watch Fox, which that could be a series by itself, just all the dumb things that have been said about Bernie. That Jesus, we could be here for days reading that stuff. But it's funny that every time you watch these networks, it seems like the only thing they can do is just tell you how horrible a candidate is, and then pretend that there's like the stuff they're proposing is so outlandish and so insane. Well, if it's so insane, why are you covering it? And again, every time I go and read these, whether they're pundits on TV or people in comment sections like that, they always say the same thing about socialism, 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 but never policy. It's a fact that most people want Medicare for all, but they don't want to talk about that particular policy because they know it's popular. So they leave it down to these terms to trick you and scare you into going, oh, I don't want my country to turn into that. Like I'm supposed to believe this. Wicked Gesture says, calls Cortez crazy eyes, turns around, warps us an oversized man child with a weasel on his head. I don't know why they that crazy eyes thing. I think we saw that about 3 or 4 times. Just people calling her bug eyes and crazy eyes and that nonsense. Probably still looks better than all of them. So notice it's always somebody who's hiding behind no picture that'll tell somebody they're ugly online, and somebody that's never going to read their comments. Like it's funny that this person you're talking about will never see what you wrote about them. And it's even more amusing when you think that they're not using this to promote anything of any significance. Like you already, like when I was going around telling people about the military budget, it was because the media didn't talk about it. So it was just me saying, it's almost like being a traveling salesman online and just, knocking on doors over and over. And then, if the person likes it, I give it to them. If they don't like it, I keep it going. And with them, it's just, well, we all already have this opinion. Let's just circle jerk each other. Yeah, she's so bad. She's so horrible. What an awful person. They're just doing that for an entire post. I mean, there's so many comments. I can't like this thing was just oh my god. Everybody's just going yep. It could never happen. Huh? Wicked Gesture says I would date Cortez if I had the chance. You can't do that. Did Dirk come around? Yeah. He's not here right now. I wonder where he could be. Maybe in New York's 14th district. So that's off limits, Wicked Jester. One of my loyal subscribers has you beat to that party. That's not authorized. Make sure I have the district correct. Yeah, the 14th district. I remembered. So if you like this, we can do it again tomorrow. They keep getting more attention than the Kavanaugh stuff. Ruben says, I think Ocasio is engaged, but I'm not sure. Yes, she's engaged to Dirk. I noticed that if you type her name in on Google, one of the similar results is husband. So, like I said before, it's just a bunch of horny people who have this thing about her. Like, she's an attractive woman, but Jesus. Every part of this person's life is scrutinized. Well, I'm asking, Envoy, did you enjoy it? Did you like the little nonsensical comments that people wrote? But yeah, Ruben, if you can provide some kind of source for that claim, I'd love to see it. It's just all these people have this weird fascination with her, and like I said before, it's not like they're going around and they're showing us something we've never seen before. Like all the people, I noticed a running theme. They fantasize about her. Yeah, Wicked Jester. But I noticed a running theme where when I would go on Twitter and I would talk about that budget, no one would ever say, "Oh, I've heard this before. That's old news." And even if they did say that wasn't recent, no one could admit that they had heard of this, that this was something that they knew about. Like, you know what? I'm gonna read you one of the responses I received on there. And I'm doing this because I want you guys to understand all the stuff that goes on when I'm not on YouTube or streaming or whatever, just how in bed with all this stuff I am as far as actively trying to alert people to how dumb it is and let them be aware of stupidity. Okay, this was 24 hours ago. This person posts on McConnell's Twitter page, which is just Senate Majority Leader. Keep up the good work, Senator. And I said, you're entitled to liking him, but be mindful. He voted for a 100 billion military increase that the working class is going to have to pay for. And again, that's based on the idea that because he's an older person, and they're not going online looking for this stuff. So his response is to say, good, grow up. We are free. Western Europe is free. Japan and much of Asia is free because of the U.S. military. Okay, so not responding to the actual story, just random nonsense about the American military making us free. What does that have to do with a 100 billion increase? And I said, the person telling someone to grow up because they disagree with them is mature. And his response to say, that's about it. Sorry to hurt your feelings. So it's that like these kind of knuckleheads. They don't actually know anything about stuff that's not being talked about on cable news, and they have a bias that whenever it's confronted with information that they're not used to, they don't want to. Like, I'll give you another example. And also, let me know if you want to hear more about the Twitter stuff, that because there's a lot of it. I mean, I've had so many responses that were just like on the level of wow. So on that same somebody else, a different person. Let me dream villain. Okay. So somebody else, different person says after I post about the 717 billion thing, our military loves it. I said our defense contractors love it. Service members get a 2% crumbs pay raise, but keep telling me I'm stupid for thinking people that serve honorably deserve a better wage. And I say that because you guys know that whenever you talk about wanting, higher wages or just any liberal kind of idea, because you saw the comments I read earlier in this video about, oh, she couldn't debate a chimp and a bird and all this other nonsense. So it's in that same line of reasoning. She goes, there's more involved than money. There is honor and love for our country to be considered. So before she wrote this back to me, she had posted that after I mentioned the 100 billion military spending increase, why don't you support national security? So the same person is telling me that because I oppose increasing the military budget by 100 billion, um, that there's more involved than money. Do you see how stupid, like how contradictory that is? You can't tell me there's more involved than money when you believe that because I oppose giving 100 billion to the military, that I'm opposed to national security in general. So I said you wouldn't have said that I was supportive of national security if more was involved in money. What love and honor are service members being shown when they come back to the U.S. and make up more than a fifth of the homeless? They're like 23% of the homeless, actually. So I messed up. It's a higher, I think 27, 20, some kind of number around there, but you get the point. It's close to there. I underscored it, basically. Um, okay, so on another post, she says, why don't you join the military? You might learn something and have a great experience. I'll learn that I'm paid less than I'm worth, which they are. Um, and my experience will be getting either murdered in one of the 7 wars the U.S. is currently in, or coming back to be treated like crap by you and the other Americans that don't care. And she says, I never treat anyone like crap, and a little self-sacrifice might not hurt you. I said, the remark was in general. You just admitted you're opposed to giving service members more than a 2% pay raise. Doing what she's doing, where the person doesn't outright say it, but they oppose that concept. So you're treating their pay like crap, even though they go out and self-sacrifice for you all the time. You're also advocating for my death in one of those 7 wars. Okay, Ruben says Trump ran his campaign as an anti-war candidate, and look how that turned out. Exactly. Um, and then C-Lab says Trump win a ridiculous amount of money is insane. Dream Villain writes, yeah, but these are the knuckleheads. Like, it's one thing to have the politicians act stupid. It's another to just every day be met with someone that talks the way this person did. And what kills me is that they can't even see the own nonsense. Like, you get the same 2 responses. They defend this or they dance around it. So, for example, I was talking about the 100 billion increase. She dances around and says, why don't you join the military? And then you even had on that same video, the first one I did about it, a person who was like, "Oh, you don't support strong whatever the hell it was," and the person says, "Oh, well, this is going to help the education." Like, he's doing his own little confirmation bias crap. But the point of why his comment was stupid is that we're talking about homelessness being able to be ended with 20 billion, and you give 100 billion to an agency that literally only impacts less than 1%, because literally only less than 1% of all Americans are in the military. That's who you give 100 billion to. Less than 1%. Not even them particularly, because they're only getting a 2% pay raise. And no one thinks this is insane. No one says, wow, that's screwed up. Are you serious? These knuckleheads, man. But yeah, I would love to just do like a little thing where I go back and dig for all of my back and forths with people on there, because I really want to show you that it's not just Alexandria herself who is the subject of stupidity. Yes, she doesn't respond to people. You are literally arriving at the last minute, bro, Vulture. How dare you? I can't believe you would show up right as I'm giving my closing remarks. Anyways, there are literally people on these sites right now. I'm downloading my Bluetooth headset, so I can't really hear anything but hi again. Uh, Wiggy Gesture says, funny thing about a lot of conservatives, they are usually poor. Yeah, it's so weird. Like all these people vote against their best interest. Like the neoliberal stuff screwed over everyone that was affected by the housing crisis, or rather by the banks. The 2008 thing, and no one calls them out for doing this. No one says, "Hey guys, you made a mistake in who you voted for. Republicans are bad too. Let's try to do something." No one bothers. It's insane. Um, so I want to know: does it, like we need some kind of consensus? Would you rather have another Alexandria video tomorrow? Just go and read stupid comments about her and respond to them accordingly, or would you want something different? And of course, that will count everybody but brought Vulture because he can't hear me, or so he says. So I'll wait to see what the response is. All right, so that's one vote for that. I know Envoy went to sleep. Ruben's kind of shrugging his shoulders. Just, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Where did Envoy go? He just keeps disappearing. Does his ex-wife have him tied up? Envoy, are you there? I guess he went to sleep. He got his little blankie and took a nap. Wicked Gesture says that's because their pragmatists play on identity. Their propagandists play on identity or lack thereof, and tell them that the enemy are the minority or minorities. Yeah, and I think I told you this before. It's like it's literally a when I did the who are the opponents of the working class, I identified that circle where it's you on one side and then the 1% on the other side, and then the politicians and the corporations getting together to screw you over. Like imagine working a job, right? Worked for 30 years, you make less than minimum wage. Then you have to find out, oh, I can't retire. I have to work there even longer. And then you find out, oh, my senator for the last several decades has been taking money from these corporations and making it to where they could get away with paying me less. And I had to work their horrible wage because I had nothing better to offer to me at the time. Yeah, Envoy, it's a big old corporate gangbang and you ain't in it. Like I would love if I could just have my stuff get shared over and over and over again, and just not have to ask for donations or any of that. But it's that kind of thing where everyone is affected by this. I had a user who a while back told me that if I had some kind of studio, you would suddenly see an increase in viewership. And I said to him, "Man, come on. Hey, if I might get like a little poster and just hanging up in the background. The corporate gangbang and you ain't in it. And just with my finger just sticking up." But yeah, these are the people that are gonna vote for Trump and Cruz and the rest of the hacks that are in both parties, and they're gonna keep on telling you that Alexandria and Bernie and everybody else that's not corrupt is a socialist, and they're gonna take away your constitutional rights, even though Obama repealed habeas corpus and jailed journalists for telling the truth and exposing things about the American government. Just it's this big manifestation of they are what I am being lunged at all these people who aren't part of that same machine. So I appreciate those who tuned in. Probably do another one of these tomorrow. supporters of. No, he's coming back. Ruben. He sued. What's that person's name? Cohen or whatever. Not the lawyer, but the one that had the. Remember the little machine that catches the guys that like little girls or whatever. He sued. He announced yesterday, or either he sued him yesterday. It was one of those two. And I wouldn't be surprised if he ran for that Senate seat again, and will probably win this time around because Jones won't have the same. Yeah, that one won't have the same Democratic support this time around because he alienated all of his backers by voting with Trump half the time, like a good little moderate. Man, what a fool! Just that strategy of his is stupid.
I'm gonna get conservatives to vote for me if I just vote with Trump half the time.
Why would I want Republican light when I get an actual Republican? And then all the Democrats are going to say, well, you vote with Trump half the time. Why would I want you back for another 6 years? So does anybody else have anything else to say? We'll see uh, if I can do this tomorrow. Probably will be able to, maybe. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.